low can those interest rates go? Part of the financial fallout of the recession and the Fed's attempt to control it has been a remarkable drop in interest rates. Mortgage rates are hovering around 6.5%. Can you believe it? Plus, a number of auto dealers are just wrapping up those 0% car loans. Makes you want to buy one of those big ticket items. One of the most unusual elements of this recession is that lenders are still lending. They haven't tightened up credit, and the rates are good. Today, credit card and debt guru Scott Bilker is with us to talk about how to make the most of your credit cards, how to avoid credit card traps, and how to decide whether you ought to refinance. Okay, he's our debt management expert, Scott Bilker. He's from www.debtsmart.com and author of the book Credit Card and Debt Management. And an issue just raised, Scott, by one of our friends here. All those offers you see on the furniture commercials on television, buy now and you will have no interest for a year, they say, till 2003. Is that a good deal?
You know, they can be very good, but you have to be careful. Here's the catch with those things. What happens is they'll give you that no payments, no interest, but if you don't pay it in full at the payment date time, they'll charge you all the interest retroactively.
Okay, so they're going to hit you with, so you got to be ready to do a balloon payment.
Well, yes, exactly. You'll owe more than the initial purchase. You'd think that after that time, if you start making payments, they'll give you a reasonable rate, but that's not the case. Now, the way to get around this, if you can't pay it off in full by that time, is to use a major credit card, transfer your balance to a credit card at a low rate, because a lot of them will do it. Say, look, I'm going to transfer a balance from a furniture purchase. You want it, you'll make some money, or else I'll use a different card. You transfer your balance. Now you had the best of both worlds. You had the no payments, no interest. You transfer the balance. Now you have a good rate to start paying it off on. Of course, better than that is to be able to just pay it off in full with cash at that time.
That means you have had to be saving the money all those months. Okay, we're going to go to the phones. We've got Donna on the line. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, your question.
Well, I guess it's a question as well as a comment. I had an incident where my credit card, I had gotten a letter in the mail from the credit company, and they said that your interest rate had gone up to the maximum and because of delinquency. And I called them and said, I've never been late with a credit card payment in my life. However, I had been late with an electric bill around that same particular time, and they said that we do review your records and so forth. They said it's not necessarily a credit card, and then it dawned on me that it was maybe that. And I'm assuming that it was, but I called the manager of this credit card company and said, you know, now my finance charge is higher than my credit card payment.
What did they do for you, Donna?
Well, actually, they did leave it where it was.
They didn't reduce your rate?
They did. They did not reduce it lower. Oh, they did reduce it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
They returned it back to where it had been previously.
Returned it back to where it had been, and I guess I was then looking in the fine print that says that if you are late with a payment with anybody, that they can up your credit card interest rate.
So they've got some genius looking at everybody's credit rating month by month?
Yeah, they have the computers are constantly reviewing that stuff, and given any reason to raise your rate, and if it's in the fine print, chances are they're going to do it. But, you know, we have our own consumer fine print here, which is you call them and say, here's the deal. You raise my rate, I'm gone. I'll just pick a different card. I'll never use you again. This is the last payment you're getting out of me. You're going to raise my rate because of a different bill you didn't even ask me about. I'm out of here. Can
I ask you, Donna, what credit company was that?
That was Citibank.
Citibank. Wow. And you've heard of this. It shocks me.
Yeah, this definitely happens. There's so much fine print, and you know you have to.
Who looks at it?
You know, yes, I know. Even I'm into this. I read all the fine print. I miss stuff sometimes too. It's just so much stuff. You need a legal degree. They don't make it as easy as those letters they get that tell you, here's a check, buy a new wardrobe, go on a vacation. You never get letters saying, hey, make sure you read your fine print. Did you know we can raise your rate? They never send you those letters.
For another bill, for an electric bill.
Right.
Raise your Citibank rate. Okay. Well, thank you, Donna, for that illuminating but rather shocking call. Okay, we are going to go to break. When we come back, we will talk about some common credit card traps, hidden transaction fees, introductory APRs, low minimum monthly payments, and more. Stay tuned.
You're watching Real Life, awarded for broadcasting excellence with the prestigious 2001 Emmy Award. CN8, now more than ever. Tune in, find out.
Welcome back to Real Life. We are talking about credit card traps and also whether it's time for you to refinance. I am joined by a debt management and credit card expert, Scott Bilker of DebtSmart.com. He's also publisher of DebtSmart magazine, and we're going to talk real quickly about some common credit card traps. These are things to look at as you are deciding whether to take a credit card offer. More late fees. Are there more late fees? Are there higher fees if you go over the limit of the card? Are there hidden transaction fees? Talk to me a little bit, Scott. Punitive annual percentage rate increases.
Well, when you look at, say, those hidden transaction fees, what could be happening there is when you take a cash advance with your credit card or do a balance transfer sometimes, but really the cash advance you have to look out for.
Yeah.
They charge you a fee to do that. It's usually some kind of floor, like a $10 minimum, 3% of what you take, and some maximum $50, although there doesn't have to be a max. The problem comes into play is if you take money out of a Mac machine using your credit card and you say you get $100 out, but they charge you a $10 transaction fee minimum.
Wow.
That's 10% one-time charge, and they're going to start charging you the higher rate for cash advances on top of that.
That's amazing. Declining grace periods, introductory APRs, that is, you have this annual percentage rate for a fixed period of time or on a fixed transfer.
And then what happens there is you have to be careful that when that ends, the rate's going to go up. So that's okay as long as you track it, then you know to get out of there, or give them a call and tell me you raised the rate, I'm gone.
I'm out of here. Low minimum payments. You don't want the payments really to be too low because it'll take you forever.
Well, you know, over the years they've been reducing how much they allow you to pay, and what happens there is if you do pay that, it can take you years to pay it off. For example, if you charged $5,000 at 19.8% and made those 2% minimum payments, it would take almost 50 years to pay that back.
Right. And meanwhile, the interest is mounting up. A fixed APR. We want an APR that moves with the Fed, right?
Well, fixed may not be so fixed. There's plenty of fine print that says that they have maybe 15 days they can change that rate on you and say, look, we're going to change it. If you want to pay off the 9.9, you have to pay it off in full now or else
it's going up.
Yes.
And then, as we heard one of our callers say on an earlier show, if you're late with your payment, they can raise you to the maximum.
That's another one of the traps, is that, yes, if you're late, and late has changed. It used to be that late was maybe 2 weeks. Now late is like 1 minute past midnight on the date.
On the date that it's due.
Exactly.
Bait and switch credit card offers. Those are?
Well, we can combine that with the tiered offers where...
Tiered pricing, which is our next trap. Yeah, go ahead.
What happens is you're going to get this offer in the mail, a pre-approved card at a certain rate. But what they don't tell you, but it's in the fine print, is that you're not pre-approved for that best rate. They might say you get a 7% fixed rate, no annual fee. You apply for it, and you get an 18% card with a $50 annual fee, which isn't what you thought you were going to get.
Oh, so you really got to read the card and read the fine. I hate the fine print. Okay, we're going to go to Al. Hi, Al.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Scott.
How you doing, Al?
All right. How are you?
Very good.
Happy New Year's.
Thank you.
Listen, I just have a question. What would be smarter, considering the way the economy is right now? I only have one credit card, which is I owe about $5,000 at Citibank. I paid 10.9% finance, and I have a student loan which I owe about 22. Is it smarter just to pay everything off in one shot, and then, or is it smarter to keep money in the bank and just make payments for a while?
Well, it depends what you're going to be doing next. If you're going to be buying a home, then you're going to need the money in the bank as a down payment. Is that your situation, Al, or no?
No, I already have a home.
Oh, okay. Well, then if you have the money to pay back your debt, then it's smarter to pay back your debt because it's really costing you a fee just to say you have the cash. So what you'll want to do is pay off the higher of the two debts, your credit card first, I would say. What's your rate on your student loan?
It's only about 4 or 5%.
Oh, it's definitely.
That's a great rate.
Oh yeah, definitely the credit card.
So always pay off the higher rate first, or try to move the higher rate to a lower rate. But 10% on a credit card's not bad at all. Right?
No, that's a great rate. But see, if he has the cash to do it, it's better to pay it off because the difference between what he's saving in a savings account, which is pretty much near zero nowadays, with the interest rates being reduced.
Even the CDs are bad.
And he's probably getting charged, $25 a month in interest fees. So he's paying $25 a month for the privilege of saying he has cash. But that's all right because he's going to probably eliminate that situation by paying them off in one shot tomorrow.
Now, is my producer telling me, Al, you want to tell me what your wife says?
Yeah, well, my wife tends to just pay everything off. I tend
Yeah.
to want to be careful, you know, let's keep some money in the bank, especially considering the way the economy is right now.
Right, right. Well, you know, there are financial planners and managers who'll say you should have a certain pot of money in the bank. Is this going to completely eliminate your savings?
No, not at all.
Okay.
You know, I'll probably have about 8 or 9 grand left.
But you know what, Al? If you needed the money back, you can get it back anyway, right from Citibank. You could just go get a cash advance, so you can have the money back instantly. So
Okay,
you can save the money by paying it off.
Okay, there you go. So you tell your wife that. We're going to go next to Dave. And Dave, you want to talk about these cash advances out of the machine, right?
That is correct.
Okay, go ahead, talk.
Well, I just recently got a credit card back in October, and I'm all new to the credit card scene, and I just found out some of the do's and don'ts, and I was wondering if Scott could tell me maybe a couple more do's and don'ts, since I'm a brand new credit card user.
Now, did you take a cash advance?
Yeah, a few times, and I just got the finance charge calculation here, and I was amazed of how everything changes here about periodic rates and percentage rates.
Well, Dave, since you're new to it, I would try this, and I'd always try this for anything. Call them and say, look, I didn't realize how expensive this was going to be. So I want you to cut me a break. Why don't you knock off some of these charges? If they don't do that, say you'll just go to a different bank and start using them from scratch. And otherwise, unfortunately, you did learn, you know, how these things work through experience, and so did I. I've paid high rates before. I've made some, you know, I've missed reading the fine print myself, and I've paid a little here and there, but now I'm much smarter about it.
So you don't think the way to go is cash advance? Like you're a little short at the end of the month, end of the pay period? No.
Not through the ATM machine, but you don't want to be late. See, no matter what you have to do to pay on time, whether you have to cash advance money to do that, paying on time is far more important. That's the most important thing, because if you're late, that's when they're going to raise your rates. That's when they're going to hit you with late charges. That's when it's going to hurt your credit report and hurt your borrowing ability in the future. So pay on time no matter what.
Okay, there you go. Nice to hear from a new credit card user. Hi, Dave. We are going to go to break. When we return, we will talk refinancing your home, your car, or any other type of loan. Is it really worth the trouble? Stay tuned. Coming up on Real Life on Tuesday, Breaking Autism's Barriers, we'll meet a dad who, along with the entire family, is working to communicate with his son and break the barrier of autism. Tune in for this very touching story. And on Wednesday, the hormone connection. Are you having trouble losing weight, ladies? What about getting pregnant? We will meet some women who struggled with symptoms for some time before getting a real diagnosis. Could you be plagued by this problem? Tune in, find out. Okay, today we are talking about credit card debts and refinancing. With us is our credit and debt management expert, Scott Bilker. His website is debtsmart.com. His book is Credit Card and Debt Management, and the magazine is Debt Smart. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about refinancing. Mortgage rates are fabulous. So when should you consider refinancing a mortgage?
Well, whenever you can save money. I know it's easy to say, but let's look at some examples. Well, rates right now for, say, a 30-year fixed are like 6 3/4. Adjustables are 5 1/4. And 15 years are 6 1/4. So the rates are really good. So if your rates are higher than that, if you've got a rate higher than 7%, you should certainly think about refinancing. So, well, let's look at a specific example. Say you had $100,000 at 8% on a 30-year mortgage. It's about $733 a month. Now, say you just can lower that 1 point from 8% to 7%. If you kept making that $733 payment towards the 7% loan, you'd save $64,000.
Whoa.
Now,
that's big money. I think we have a caller on the phone who wants to talk refinancing. Margaret, hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Okay, talk to us.
Okay, hi, Scott.
Hi, Margaret.
How you doing?
Great.
I have a question. I have a home. I'm a homeowner. I have 8%. I'm looking to refinance maybe mid of this year.
What was that rate again, Margaret?
8%.
Okay, 8%. Okay.
Okay, I want to refinance to get a lower interest rate so I can double my payments and to pay it off even faster. I have a 30-year mortgage, but I want to like probably do half of that.
Okay.
And pay it off, you know, in less than 15 years.
Do you have really good credit?
Well, that's my problem.
Okay.
I don't have credit card problem. I just have like, you know, miscellaneous debt as far as student loans.
How about with this current bank? Did you ever miss a payment on your mortgage?
Yes.
How many?
Maybe about 2 or 3.
That may hurt you, but you know what? You should apply. You shouldn't stop. You should definitely apply and see if you can do it, especially if there's no application fees. Talk to the bank that you do business with now, that you have your checking account with, and ask them about refinancing. I'd say at 8% that you probably would save money. With the most expensive loan would be like 7% with a 2-point fee. You'd still probably save money there. You really have to run the numbers, but in general, the interest savings between the two loans minus the cost of the points is how much it's going to be to do your refinance. And at a certain period of time in the future, you can look at it at one of a couple ways. One, that those interest fees were paid for by the savings, and two, that the rate of the new loan now is better than the first one.
Okay, now will they look at my credit history?
Oh, yeah.
Before they go to, I mean, so could that kind of hurt me in a way?
It could definitely hurt you. You may get rejected because of it, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't try. You should always try. There's some bank out there that wants to make a profit from you, and you just have to find them. And you can. That
was like maybe beginning last year or so. I was going to try and give myself like a year before I tried to do anything.
Well, but this is the time. You should give it a try.
Yeah.
Okay, best of luck. We're going to go to Joanne. Hi. Hi, Joanne.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi.
Go ahead, ask your question.
I got a quick question. My father was sick with cancer, and I had to leave my job, okay? He did pass away. I now own a home, but I have credit card debts of about $16,000. But I'm not working. Is there any way I could get a
What are your rates on those debts, Joanne?
One is 24 and one is 21.
You know, so many high-rate debts. I really don't know how they can get away with rates so high. I mean, that's ridiculous. Have you ever had any credit problems in the past, Joanne?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Call those banks and tell them, you know, lower the rate or I'm gone. I will transfer my balance. And since you have good credit, you may want to think about, well, it certainly should apply for new credit lines that are lower rates. Have you tried that?
I tried, but being that I'm not working, I'm having a hard time.
All right. Well, another option then might be a home equity loan. Do you have any equity available in your home?
Well, I just purchased the house about 6 months ago.
Okay, yeah, you're going to have to wait on that to get a home equity loan. Well, there are things you should definitely do are apply for new lower rate credit cards. Call your current creditors and tell them that if they don't lower that rate, you're gone. And always look for your credit options. You're going to have to stay on top of this constantly. Do you have any other credit cards that have a balance of 0?
No.
Okay, so you're maxed out.
Yes.
Okay. And one of your tips that I've read about is if you have a car, do you have a car that's paid off?
Yes, I do.
That you could refinance a car loan, couldn't you?
That's a
just save on your credit cards?
Yes, you're right. That's one of my Debt Smart refinancing tips. You can do this if you own your car outright. You can contact your bank and you can borrow money and use your car as collateral and get a loan that way, and then you can use that loan to pay back your credit cards.
Okay, we wish you the best of luck. We're going to go next to Linda. Hi.
Hi. I have a quick comment and a quick question. I heard on a previous show of people calling in about American Express, and I just want to say I had that same problem a year ago. they sent it to collections without notifying me. I had a co-signer on there that missed 2 payments, and they went right to, anyway, it was very frustrating, so I hope you do follow up with that. And I want to know how I can get a low-interest car loan. I called today, and they said I can get, it runs anywhere from 9.99% to 13.45%. How can I get that low end?
Okay, well, Linda, you have to be very careful when where you're getting your car loan from. Are you talking through the dealer or through a bank?
Credit union.
Credit union was that high?
Yeah, that's a little high.
Woo.
Yeah, the rates for car loans right now for used cars is around 8%. So that's really what your target should be. As far as the American Express issue goes, you know, I definitely will look into that. I don't have my American Express card anymore. They wouldn't waive my annual fee years ago, so I closed that account.
Adios, American Express.
One of the few.
But we want to remind you again, as we have with our other callers, Linda, that you should email Scott and tell him about your situation. So you'll have 3 cases, really, to take up with American Express, and then you will come back on a future show and tell us what you said to American Express.
Yeah, I'll find
And
out
they'll
about
probably say, we won't talk to you because you canceled us
Yeah,
years
if they
ago.
won't talk to me, then I'll be even more amazed. But yeah, and make sure you say in the email that you saw me here on Real Life on Mary's show.
Okay, we are going to go to break. We will come back to wrap up the show. If you're still hanging on the line, keep hanging. We will talk to you. Next time on Real Life, breaking autism's barriers, a father's story. Tune in for a heartwarming interview with a dad who has gone to life-changing lengths to get through to his autistic son. Okay, we are wrapping up on our topic of refinancing credit card traps, and at this point, we would like to offer you a chance to get a debt makeover. If you're having trouble paying down your debt, we are offering one lucky viewer the chance to work with Scott Bilker to get your finances under control and appear on the show. To fill out an application, go to www.debtsmart.com/help. Fill out the entry form, and if you don't have a computer, send a letter including your name, address, phone number, a description of your debt problems, income, expenses, and your financial story to Scott Bilker, P.O. Box 563, Barnegat, New Jersey 080050563. Okay, that's very exciting, a debt makeover. We are going to go to the phones. Our first caller, Terrence. Hi, Terrence. What's up?
How you doing?
Okay.
I have a Citibank credit card, and they increased my interest rate. And then when I called them and asked them, they said because I was late with some other creditors, and I paid Citibank on time every time. I've never been late, and I didn't think they could do that.
Well, in the fine print of a lot of credit card agreements, Terrence, it says they can do that. But you know what? I wouldn't take that. Call them and tell them, look, if you want to raise my rate because of something else, I paid you on time. Look at my history with you. I paid you on time, Citibank. Either roll my rate back to what it should be, or I'm going to use another card. I'm finished with you forever. And see what they say.
Get tough with Citibank. And I don't know if you heard, Terrence, we had another caller with exactly the same situation. She was late on an electric bill, always paid her Citibank religiously, and they raised her rate. She got them to drop it. We are going to go next to Pat. Hi, Pat.
Hi.
Yes, your question.
Yes. I have about 3 charged cards right now with a total balance of $15,000. My parents gave me about $10,000 for Christmas, and I'm wondering if I could call the credit card companies. Is there any strategy to use to get them to reduce my total debt so that the $10,000 would cover my entire debt?
Well, Pat, yes, there is. You can call and try to make a settlement with them to pay it off for less. However, if you do that, they're going to report it that way to the credit bureaus, and it's going to look negatively upon you in the future. And that could be on there for like 7 years. Right. So it might save you money, but depending on what's going to happen to you in the future, you may want to hold off on that. Do you currently own a home?
I do, and it's almost paid off, and I'm 55 years old, so I don't really need credit in the future, except for I'll always keep these cards.
Okay, well, you can try to do that. You may or may not have success with that. They might look at your history and say, you know what, she doesn't have any problems, so we're not going to give you a settlement. What are the rates on those cards?
Regularly, you're saying?
Yeah.
because I've paid regularly?
Well, you could pay them off. Take the money and pay them off. Pay off as much as you can. That's for sure.
Okay, thank you, Pat. Again, the tips here from this show, it's time to look at refinancing.
Yes.
Because mortgage rates certainly are very good. You can refinance a car loan to pay off credit card debts. And if you have a high interest rate car loan, look to see if you can get a better deal.
Always.
And be aggressive.
Yes.
Call them up. Tell them. Okay, we're excited to have the debt makeover, so give Scott a call or email him. See you all. Take care. Bye.